Just over the fence here behind me is the grave of Major General Benjamin Moores. General Moores plays into this story of the trial and subsequent execution of Peggy Facto because he was her employer at one time. When Peggy Facto was brought to trial in 1825, he was one of the only people in town that took the stand in her defense. While many others were condemning the woman for what she had done, he believed that she was actually innocent. He claimed that of all the love and caring and whatnot that she had shown to his family, there's no way that she could have committed such a horrible crime. And General Moores, being a major general in the New York State militia and having served in the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, it stands to reason that he was probably a pretty good judge of character. He took the stand and pleaded with the judge for clemency, but unfortunately, as with the letter to Governor Clinton, it fell on deaf ears and she was sentenced to death. Her execution was carried out in March of 1825, just a stone's throw away from where we now stand. And it was so unusual back then for a woman to be executed. This was the first time a woman had ever been hung in Clinton County, that people even came across frozen Lake Champlain. They walked across from Vermont, from Grand Isle, Vermont, to come and witness the execution. Today, people can watch shows like Sherlock and get their fix for kind of murders and mysteries and melodrama, but people didn't really have that option in the 19th century, so they played a first-hand role in some of these things. Part of her sentence handed down from Judge Walworth was, because of the religious views of the day, was considered to be a fate worse than death. She was sentenced to be hung by the neck until dead, and then her body was to be handed over to the doctors for dissection. So afterwards, her body was utilized for medical experimentation and disposed of. So she has no final resting place. The closest we can come today would be the graves of her employer, the Moores family, who did take the stand in her defense and probably cared for her more than anyone, trying to get her acquitted. It was said that General Moores considered to be one of his life's greatest failures, that even with all his status and standing in the community, being a veteran, a major general, he still couldn't get this woman acquitted of this horrible crime. So he kind of hung his head and took some measure of that to his grave with him. But the mysteries still remain surrounding whether she may or may not have actually committed the crime. Some believed that it was her lover that didn't want to be responsible for the child that came and spirited it away in the night. Some even said that it was her long-lost husband who came back from wherever he was and was jealous that she was showing affection to this lover of hers, and he actually took the baby and did away with it to teach her a lesson or take revenge or whatnot. No one really knows the true story of what happened. And I'm sure that, now being almost 200 years removed from the fact, it'll stay a mystery.